Have you ever observed a sparrow on a top of a house? There's a storm, or there's a wind, and it's clinging there, or it's or something's been after it, and it seeks refuge, and then it sits on top, where it is in full view of any potential danger or prey, and it's shaking. And so emotionally we're like that. We can have a frightening experience and we seek refuge, and we think we're safe out there in the world, in full view of everybody. And the storms of life come along, or a strong breeze can feel like a storm to a little sparrow. You've heard some terrible news and you're shaking emotionally. You're like this. Then we're like that sparrow on the housetop. We can't think clearly, we can't think straight, we don't know what to do, we're shivering. We feel we're all alone, lonely, feeling so lonely, so vulnerable. So look at the owl, it's vulnerable. What they all have in common: the pelican in the wilderness, the owl in the desert, the sparrow, lonely sparrow up on the housetop, all are vulnerable. All are exposed to the elements, all are exposed to something that could threaten them. And so, what David observes, everything that could threaten us, now he's bringing it all together into a unitive understanding about the nature and activity of the mind, the contents of the mind. My enemies are torturing me. I cannot really focus and meditate the way I would like to. I don't have peace of mind. I'm not experiencing calmness and joy. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And then we remember other references to mine enemies, that all the thoughts we have are within us. There's no thought that exists outside of you. That's how vast we are in our ability to accommodate thought. But we also have the ability to let the thought waves pass through us when we remember that the thoughts have no power over us, then they have to pass through us. They cannot stay. So when we are in this, in extremis, like the psalmist, as he expresses in this psalm, he reminds us that we have recourse to a divine presence that is always available, and its name is I Am. And then we remember the truth about what Moses experienced at the top of the mountain. I am. I tell the people my name, my true name. It's not God. My true name is I Am, that I am. Your true name is not Johnny or Bobby or Shorty or Lefty or Lizzie or Dizzy or Fuzzy. Your true name, my true name is I Am. And when we practice the mantra I Am, that I Am, uninterruptedly, even for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, there is no thought operating. There's only the divine presence active in our consciousness. Then the divine presence becomes the only activity of consciousness. And that's when we discover there's nothing that has the power to destroy us, to deprive us of our divine nature or inheritance. that it is our nature to know peace and freedom and joy and love and beauty and truth. And so I come to this. Mine enemies, that this idea of enemies, reproach me all day. Those who once praised me are now sworn against me. All right, isn't that the world of the duality? In your own family, they praise you if you do well in school. Remember when you got on the honor roll? Oh, but he's so bright. Next month he doesn't get so close to it. Well, now they don't want to tell everybody that he's not so bright because you didn't get on the honor roll this month. Now you better get on the honor roll, you know, or it's going to reflect back on us that we might not be too bright as your parents. I saw this bumper sticker, you see it once in a while. The parent is so proud of their child, honor roll student. It took me way back, honor roll student, you know. I mean, we celebrate that. It's considered quite extraordinary. You're a real honor roll student if you honor your divinity. Be a student of your divinity, honoring your divinity, manifesting your divinity, your divine qualities. Now, all the enemies in my house, your enemies, it says, thine enemies are in thine own household, in our own mind. You see, again, in our mind. Everyone we perceive to be our enemy, Arjuna thinks his enemies are out there. Remember, he speaks of that. All these people who want to destroy me, I've got to enter this war, and I really don't want to. And you know the background of that in Gita. But again, it's a metaphor, it's an internal warfare that's going on. We have to cleanse the mind, we have to purify the mind. That's the whole thrust of Raja Yoga. We've got to cleanse the mind. It's the thrust of all spiritual disciplines. We've got to let that mind be in you which was in Christ, Jesus, it says. Well, Paul had the same realization. I have to cleanse my mind of all impure, imperfect thoughts, so that only thoughts of holiness, meaning of wholeness, of joy, of love, of peace, circulate in my consciousness, vibrate through me, and move out into the world, push themselves out in the world to uplift humanity silently through my state of consciousness. That is how we change and transform the world.